China is cutting ties with the U.S. on many issues following Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. My God, you know, we did a story on it. We just asked the question, Nancy, what in the hell are you doing in Taiwan? What are you really trying to accomplish? And of course, all of her flying monkey friends, you know, oh, she has the right to go. She can do whatever she wants. We talked about the fact she went over there without a plan. We talked about there's going to be ramifications. So she's palling around in her pink jumpsuit. I don't know what she's accomplishing, but at this point, we're starting to see an absolute connection to what she did. Pick it up from there.
Yeah, absolutely. China has now come out and they said, listen, we are no longer working with the United States on the most important issue of the day, climate change. You know, we had been in negotiations with the United States. We had wanted to reduce emissions. The U.S. was going to do it. And if we cannot get China, the biggest polluter on the planet, to reduce their emissions, to just now walk out of talks because they're mad at Pelosi, this planet is in serious trouble. But it's also military agreements we've had with them, trade agreements. All of this is now going down the toilet because Pelosi decided, I want to go to Taiwan during my little vacation break here, and it screws us.
So they've already began military exercises just right off the coast of Taiwan that they weren't doing. They've already filed missiles above Taiwan. They've suspended diplomatic ties. This is all because meddling grandma makes a visit to Taiwan because she wants to make a statement about how tough she is. And by God, China can't tell me what to do. Really? I mean, if you want to support that, you better think it through because this is a superpower we're dealing with. This isn't a third world country. This is damn superpower.
Right. You know, the Biden administration said, look, we don't want her to go, but we're not going to tell her not to. The military was like, we don't want her to go. Nobody wanted her to go there.
MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, they wanted her to go there. Oh, Nancy, brilliant. You know, what a strong woman you are. And now we're seeing the ramifications of it. The discussion seems to miss the fact that we owe China more than $1 trillion. More than $1 trillion is what we owe China. And when they start calling that in, that's the next step they make. I think we owe them more than maybe Japan, but it's real close. Japan and China. But as I watch this develop, it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And God forbid we should have brought it up and actually called balls and strikes. How dare you? How dare you go after the Democrats? We're not Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I call balls and strikes, and I'm going to continue doing that.
Well, and if anybody has an issue with that, then please feel free, send us an email. Let us know what good came out of this trip, because I'd love to hear it.
Better than that, just unsubscribe to us. If a viewer cannot take an intelligent discussion about calling balls and strikes on something as idiotic as this, they need to go listen to HuffPost. You know, where everybody agrees with everything all the time. That's not this site.
When I was a little girl, I was told at the beach if I dug a hole deep enough, we would reach China. So we've always felt a connection there.